What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's another Reprogram Your Thinking video with your girl Nikki, and I'm coming to you to help you to recognize what you are allowed to dwell in your spirit. I was watching the I'm Athlete podcast recently, and they did the episode with Colin Kaepernick, and I don't know how yet to I still haven't figured out how to put up video so you can watch, video, and then I can come back and give you my take on it. So I could just give you, I can kind of paraphrase what happened. And what happened was they started the episode off where they did a small interview, a short interview with Colin Kaepernick. Well, not a short interview. They just didn't show the full interview. And then they came to the actual episode where everybody, gave their take. And here's what I took from it. And here's what I honestly did not like about it, to be honest. They were in front of Colin Kaepernick, and it was all love. And I don't know if they discussed it during the interview with Colin, but I do know that the conversation that they had on the actual podcast is the conversation that we should have seen them have with Colin Kaepernick. And I know due to editing, whatever, certain things that, were not important as far as the interview goes. So I don't know what was said. I don't know what conversation was had. But I know that when we see things like that, we can create our own narrative. And the narrative that I was creating in my mind, in all honesty, was, okay, they got his back. And I can say that they do because they gave him exposure. They showed the little workout where they all worked out with him, and they praised him during the interview, how good he looked, whatever. But what I didn't like, in all honesty, about the whole thing was when they got back to the actual episode where they were just having a discussion with the panel that is on the I Am Athlete podcast, which was Ocho, Brandon, Pac-Man Jones, DJ Williams, and Omari Kelly. And what I did not like was to continuously hear what we don't want to talk about. And that is that we don't have each other's back because we're more concerned, truly more concerned about ourselves and what's going to happen to us. And what I mean by that is, Pac-Man said it. He was like, when the situation started in 2016 with Kaepernick, he didn't want to take a knee because he did not understand it, but he also was like, I'm not gonna sacrifice 390 some thousand for something I don't understand. Okay. But if and Brandon made a statement. He was like, but we say that we're family. We say this is my brother. So when we're standing for something, why are we really standing for it? And why are we so concerned about what's going to happen to us? Colin Kaepernick has missed 5 years, but I don't think he's missed the step of being able to provide and take care of his family. He's gotten deals from Nike. He did a Netflix episode. It's things that you can do to generate income, because there are people that are on your side. So just playing football, I understand if you love football and that is your passion, but sometimes we have to think about the human side of things, because these organizations like the NFL and even the NBA, they want to control the narrative. Now, this is not a sports channel, but this is a channel where I want to express to us that we talk one way, but we act in another. And that's the real issue with us as human beings. And that's what I don't like. Brandon tried to talk about, what about humanity? What about, this is a human being that loves the same game that we love. And numbers don't lie. And the majority rules. If you're scared and you're fearful about what you're going to lose, think about what we've lost in the process. Think about the George Floyds. And this young man, Patrick, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, the African guy who just got shot in the back of his head, mercenary style, by a white police officer. Okay, when does it stop? When does it end? When do we honestly stop worrying about what is this going to cost me? And you have different platforms where it's, what is this going to cost me if I tell the truth? If I talk about what is true and what is real. We always talk about living our truth, but are we really living our truth? Because the whole conversation was, I heard so many times, even DJ Williams, man, I'm not finna give up what I have for this guy. Basically, that was all that was being said. Look, because these guys don't run together like that. They don't consider themselves to be close. They don't hang. They are friends if they're on the team together. It's just like, we're all the same. It's just like when you work a job, when you go to high school. When you're in high school, you have people that you hang with, that you claim they're your friends. But once you leave high school and you go on with your life and they go on with theirs, you probably, I say 85 to 90% of the time, you're not going to see that person again. And you're not even going to be worried about seeing that person again. You're going to be worried about moving on with your life, living your life, doing what you feel like makes you happy. And that's that on that. Same thing on the job. You work a job, you work with people, you may even hang out with some of those, your co-workers. But when you say, hey, I'm quitting, I'm moving on, you probably would never talk to that person, those people again. You probably won't hang out with those people again. And I'm saying all that to say, unity, love for humanity. Love is what's missing. And I have started to read Dr. Martin Luther King's book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community. And I'm on chapter 2. I just started reading it. And he was telling the story of, after the Voting Rights Act had been signed, how they were ready to march, and Stokely Carmichael and all of these people started talking about Black power. And he said something in that book that stood out to me. He said, you can have power, but without love, that power is abusive and it's bad. And love without power is just anemic. And I thought that was so interesting. We have to connect the two. We just talk about power. If I had the power, if I had the strength, but if you have love, you do have the power. If you stop worrying about what's going to happen to me if I do this, but what's happening to this guy? 5 years without playing the game, he also loves. What's going to happen to this guy? And I'm going to give you a scripture to end this video. But I came on to say, it's so strange to me that we're always out here protesting, fighting, But do we even know these people that we're walking with, that we're protesting with? Do we know who we're standing with? And do we really understand what we're fighting for? Because at the end of the day, if we don't agree and if we're not on the same page, we can't even have a conversation, because we're not okay with people not being agreeing with our narrative and what we feel. If I say racism is not a problem, I'm a coon. And I can't be a part of your group because you say racism is the problem. If I say racism is not the problem, I'm a problem. I can't be a part of my own people's group and struggle because you're not trying to fully understand what I'm saying, and we're not trying to understand each other. We just have a difference of opinion, and we're not able to come together and unify and take what you know, your knowledge, and what you bring and what I bring, and connect those two things to make a change. Because I watched that video and I was just like, this is the problem. They kept saying it over and over. We didn't understand what he was standing for. We weren't finna kneel and risk our money, risk our stuff, risk what we have. And I think that is the biggest issue, the biggest problem. We are so afraid. We are so afraid to feel like we're losing everything. But what is everything? What is everything to you? When someone is just dogging you, dogging your people, you're willing to give that up. Because they had a guy on there also, something that I thought was great. His name was L.A. Russell. And he did a performance for them and he rapped. And his rap was so inspiring. And it was just speaking to the fact that we celebrate people who do nothing but allow these people that we say oppress us. We allow these people to put us out front and be disrespectful to our own community. Now, I'm going to give you a scripture. And I want to talk about fear, because that's the thing that stuck out to me, that it was so much fear in their commentary about, can we help Kaepernick get on to the field and play again? And this is something that I know is missing, because like I said in the book, Where Do We Go From Here, Chaos or Community, we want power, but we don't have love. So even if black people get the power and we don't have love, what is it gonna mean? Will we abuse it like white people abuse it? See, that's the thing. What will we accomplish if we have the equality and the power that we speak of? What will we do with that power and that equality? And the scripture I want to read is Isaiah 41:10. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So when we start saying, am I going to risk $300,000 for this guy? Think about that God said, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So that means I'll take care of you. But we got to take care of each other. So guys, let's reprogram our thinking. That's my thoughts on that video. I wish that I could. I'm going to learn, truly going to learn how to post where I can put videos up, pop and show you the video and then give you my take on it. So guys, I love you guys, and this is not a knock on I Am Athlete. This is not a knock on anybody. This is for all of us. we got to learn that giving up a lifestyle to help a person out, your own people, to help them out, it's about human rights and humanity and being treated right. Not just about, hey, why am I going to give up everything I got for this person? But we talk about Black Lives Matter. Colin Kaepernick is a black guy. He's mixed, but he's a black guy. And we should love him the same way that we love our own family. We talk about Black Lives Matter. We talk about, that's my brother. Those are my people. Well, you take care of your people. And that's why I wanted to do this video, because I heard too much, like, and it's something that stands out, and it's something that keeps us from even having an opportunity to make change, because we're so concerned about what is this gonna cost me if I stick my neck out for this person. So we got to stop thinking like that, guys. We got to stop being so concerned about self. Because God said he will take care of you. He will uphold you with his righteous right hand. And that's what we're so into this world and what's going on with obtaining things of the world. How can I get this? How can I get that? That's what we're so focused on. And that's where our heart is at. And that's where we lay our treasures. And that's why you see so much chaos. And you don't see community. You don't see community. You don't see the black community. You only see chaos, because we are so scared that if I do something, it's going to take away from me and what I have going on. Not thinking about, this is a human being. And he's of my ethnicity. So why can't I help him? Why am I scared to help him? Why do we feel like we're risking it all when we're risking nothing, because we have nothing? And then when we sit around and have talks, we come to realize that we're still just a commodity, and we're still oppressed, and we're still enslaved. Not only in the mind, but how these white elitists and everything, how they use us. How they use us. And when they feel like they have no need for us and we're not as important anymore, they throw us away like we're trash. And that's what they've tried to do to Colin Kaepernick. They've tried to throw him away like he's trash. But he has so many different supporters. And I just wish that we as a people would learn that if I help you or you help me, that we're not going to lose everything. We'll gain more when we take care of each other. Because when we're doing what God says, then God's going to do what you're going to watch. You're going to see God move in so many different ways. Because we're trying to pass legislation, but legislation, those people are not going to. Okay, if they had passed the George Floyd Act, the George Floyd law, would it stop these police officers from reacting and acting the way that they react? Because the guy Patrick, the young guy that just got killed by the police, he ran. You know, the police shouldn't have shot him, but he ran. And he tussled with the police. So if a law was in place, do you not think that these people are not smart enough to put disclaimers and small little disclaimers somewhere where we're not even going to read it? And then what they do with that is, hey, in the event of this, the police have the right to do this. So who's to say that a law would change the issue, would change what's going on? If I have a select few that fight against me, like I said, if I have a difference of opinion with 20 black people, those people are going to be against me, and I will be considered an outcast. I will be considered a coon. Nobody would try to understand my perspective, and I wouldn't try to understand their perspective. And that's the big part of the problem. It's like, I got to stand on this side because I don't want to lose what I got. And then you have those who are just like, look, I have nothing to lose. I'm fighting for what's right. I'm standing on truth. When we start doing that and we do it in love, then we can take back our power. Because God said we don't have to fear because he's with us. We don't have to be dismayed because he is our God, and he will strengthen us. He will strengthen us. We can't go at this fight on our own strength. We can't do it. He will help us, and he will uphold us with his righteous right hand. So that means you don't have to worry about sinking into quicksand and nobody is going to pull you back up. Colin Kaepernick is still working after 5 years of not being able to play the game that he's passionate about and that he loves. He's still been working, and he still believes that he will get an opportunity to get on the field and win a Super Bowl. So guys, subscribe, like this video, share this video, and let's get back to love. And let's live life and not lifestyle. And let's recover the life that the devil is trying to take from us each and every day. Thank you guys for listening, and I love you. Peace.